Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Stirling. This one here is called Lemon Chill, and I got a little chunk already out. Got it whipped up here in the bowl. Going to be following the shave up with a sample of the Lemon Chill aftershave also. Glacial, of course. And got it whipped up here in a walnut cherry bowl from the Distinctive Goat on Etsy. Don't think he's making these anymore, at least I haven't seen one in a while. Got it whipped up here with a brush that I reknotted. This was a barbershop brush. I think it was made back in the early 70s perhaps. Anyway, it's got a, this is a horsehair knot, a white one. Like horsehair. It worked up pretty good. It's moist, not exactly drippy. And I'm thinking it's going to work out just fine. Today's blade is Personna X series, and it's a double edge that is in the RazoRock switch. Let's see, yeah, roll it this way. There we go. And this one here came to me on loan by the way of IMCBD, Chris Bailey. I'm going to give it a try. I have a RazoRine, so it's very much similar to that. So I'm kind of sort of familiar, but if you can tell, RazoRine's a wee bit thinner than that. So it'll be interesting to see how I shave with this. In other words, I have not shaved with it yet. This will be my first time go with it. So it should be quite fun. Also went ahead and put a hot towel to the face, and I've got the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ice Cube, unscented but mentholated. Go ahead and use this for pre-shave soap here. Go ahead and get started. We're going to see how I do with this shaver this morning. It's Saturday morning. It's definitely heading towards fall. The highs and lows are a lot different now, with the highs sometimes being in the low 80s, upper 70s, trending more to 70 than 80. Lows are down around in the 50s. This makes for a nice morning. In other words, I fixed coffee this morning. Had to fix the pot. It's that kind of morning. Should be making, how can you say, the videos a little bit more on the consistent side, I think. I was at work, work from home, and I had a project that was, how can you say, giving me grief. And so I was trying to stay more focused on it and getting it done and out of the way. And as far as I can tell, I'm done. We'll find out later after a number of people get to looking at it. Sometimes some of these projects are large enough where the, as it goes for somebody looking at them for approvals, may go all the way up to the CEO. So we'll see how well I did. I'm pretty sure I'll be all right, but might be some minor tweaks here and there. But this brush, like I say, I reknotted it with a horsehair brush, knot, a white one, and a while back. And I can tell you that the glue that was used to put the original knot in, that was some kind of glue. I'm not sure what kind it was, but I know when I was removing it, it had a horrible odor to it. It was quite stinky. This lemon, it works. A scent like this works great for me. It's straightforward. It's lemon. It's already got a nice cooling effect on my face. Whipped up really easy. This brush is, the only thing about this brush handle is the round knob at the end. In other words, this brush does not stand up very well. It's quite challenging. All right, first time go with the RazoRock switch. Now, if you've seen one of my videos with the RazoRine, I just call these that are like this DE on a stick. More or less it is. This one here will convert to a DE. RazoRine doesn't, but this one does. Yeah, it's not too tough. Getting started finding the edge. As it goes for blade feel, the blade feel is there. I would consider it mild, at least right now, unless I got the edge, the angle wrong, perhaps. But it seems to be pretty easy to use. If you're kind of, sort of, I guess you might say, familiar with a shavette or even a straight razor. Um, kind of thinking it might be a little challenging to cut yourself. I'm not saying that you can't, it's just it could be a challenge. So in other words, it might be a good one for somebody to start out with, just to get past the nerves, I guess you might say, of using a shavette or a straight razor in this manner, just to get some of the muscle memory down. You know, at times that is a lot of the hurdle right there, is just getting past the nerves. So that you can relax during your shave and enjoy it. This one here might be a good place to start. As you can tell, there is a screw on the back side of this, and like the Razorine in this one here, or if you have a supply injector, anything of the sort like that. IBC, Irving Barber Company, their shavette, it's got a screw, got a little thumb screw. That one there would be a little bit more difficult to drop down the sink. But in other words, you would definitely want to make sure you got the drain plugged. That's would be my suggestion, because if it falls off in there, it's going to be a sad day. Pretty smooth, pretty easy to do. I would consider it mild. No, I wouldn't consider it medium by any means. It's pretty smooth. I don't know about, not on the first pass. Second pass maybe it might be a bit different, but usually sometimes I can tell after the first pass on how efficient a shaver would be. And this one here has left a little bit of growth on the face, but keeping that in mind, that's Thor. He's wanting out of my daughter's room. He's having a cow. Usually at the first pass I could tell how aggressive or mild a shaver is. And this one here left a bit more on the face. And it could be maybe I still need to adjust the angle. I think I would lean more towards that it's this particular shaver is not meant to be aggressive. It's somebody to start out with. Get used to using something like this. Like I say, it is, you know, for some folks, just getting past the nerves, putting something that's shaped like this, even a shavette or a straight razor up against your face, just getting past the nerves is quite a hurdle. You might be interested in it, but that doesn't calm the nerves a whole lot when you put that naked blade up against your face. Just saying. From experience. One of my very first videos was with a shavette, and I was relatively new with the shavette, so yeah, nervous wreck. I remember those days. This is a good one to start with. Probably should mention also that the at Italian Barber has this switch on sale for basically $30. It used to run right around the $40 mark, and I think it's still on sale last time I checked, which was yesterday. So I don't know if it's changed overnight, this being Saturday, but it's on sale for about $30. So even if you decide that maybe using this as a shavette is not your thing, but maybe the DE part of it is, and that's the other side of it too. If you're not comfortable with one of the passes, you could always switch it over to a DE. I think I'll do that, just so I guess you might say for a demonstration. It's pretty easy to do. Like I said, you definitely want something in the sink. I typically, if I was going to do this, you know, prior to, doing, in other words, if I was doing this off camera, I would do all this with on the towel and all that sort of thing. But the screw is just, you can see this right there. It's not real difficult to do outside of not dropping it down in the sink when it's open. Have to keep on saying that because I don't know, and I haven't seen when last time I looked. Screws off, taking it off the end there. I have not seen a replacement screw cap, if you will, a nut. There we go. I haven't seen one of those for this particular shaver, so that is something to keep in mind. There we go. You can tell it's not too terribly tough, but it's took what, first time I ever done that didn't take very long. Now we're going to use it as a DE. I do think this would be a great one to start out with if you're looking at a shavette. It does help with some of the jitters, and you're able to, like I say, just switch right on over to catch maybe a pickup pass or something of the sort. Can say that this blade's working really well with this shaver. I don't find that the screw gets in my way. It might somebody else's. The experience might be that that screw gets in the way, but it doesn't for me. But I also only shave with the one hand, my dominant hand. I don't shave with my left hand, in other words. Don't trust it. I don't trust that left hand at all. It does make it a bit easier to transfer, switch from one to another, especially if you're traveling a lot and you're just going to be adventurous and try to learn how to do this. Would make for a great distraction, that's for sure. Still got a little spot right there. I think I'll go ahead and catch it. It's my trouble spot. And that's another thing too. For me, from time to time, usually a 2-pass shave with a shavette or a straight razor works pretty well. In other words, one which is typically with the grain, then against the grain. And every once in a while, that spot right through there where hair grows every which way is not the easiest to get. And if you've got a shaver like this, it makes it easy to catch that spot at the end of your passes. There's pluses for this kind of setup. I think it's pretty nice. But for me, I've got so many shavers. I've got 2 injectors sitting over here waiting for those kind of cases when I'm shaving with a straight edge, and if that strip right through there can be really tough to get sometimes. And injector works well for me. Nose is itching again this morning. Got the alum block here from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Crown King, complete with rubber band this morning. Helps me hang on to it, and it works well for me keeping it in the case. In the future, I might get a place to set it on the outside. In other words, outside of the case. But my routine, this will be the second alum block I got from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements with the rubber band, and my routine is that I gently wipe it off real quick and I just place it right back into the case and I snap it, and it seems to work just fine for me. But if your routine is to really have a lot of water on your alum block, that may not be such a great idea, and that's the reason why maybe the dry dock, if you will, is a better idea. This one here, the way I use it, my routine works really well. This is the second one. First one seemed like forever. I mean, it lasted a good long while, right down to the little sliver. This is witch hazel from Stirling. It's unscented, but it is mentholated. Help add to the glacial feel, if you will. This particular bottle, I think, is 8 ounces. When I'm thinking about it, before I forget, I want to go ahead and take this apart to show you what the inside looks like. It is a, to me, it is a pretty nice setup as it goes for keeping the blade aligned. I just put it in there, tighten it, snug it up, tighten it up. Just nothing to it. It worked out really well. I like that kind of setup. You can kind of see the grooves right there. There's 2 slots for the post to fit right down in there. No problem with the blade alignment. I just put it right in there. And go ahead and take the blade out. There's the blade. That's what the cap looks like on the underside. Yeah, you can see those posts there. In other words, it's not too much of a glare from the light catching it. But lines up just perfect. I mean, had no issues whatsoever. For some people, that is a deal breaker. If you got to wiggle the blade just a little bit to get it lined up, no problem here. It lines up just great. So in other words, even for somebody that's relatively new and don't need those kind of issues trying to get the blade lined up, this works out just fine. Works great. Like I say, this is a sample here. Show you what the restrictor looks like. It's just like what you see in, I guess you might say, the full-size containers. In other words, it's a restrictor that looks like that. You could probably pop that out. I just prefer to leave it in there. It helps me, I guess you might say, not to pour too much in there since it is just a sample. Otherwise, most of the sample will end up in my hand. Nice lemon scent. I like lemon lime. Yeah, that works well for me. Simple scents, my nose can pick them up. It gets complex. It's either it smells good to me or it doesn't. Usually I can't pick out a scent on a complex, well blended, if you will, scent. And if it does matter to you, especially if you're traveling, I already showed you that's what that looks like there. I don't know if you can see in the cap how that looks. There, it actually goes, there's like a post, if you will, that's open through the middle. But anyway, it will go down in the center of that plastic part. So in other words, traveling, it'll do quite well. You keep it snugged up. In other words, I haven't had any problems with them leaking or anything like that. Just to say, if you're traveling, little samples might work out better for you than the full size ones. That's a great shape. I'll have links down below, like I said, and I do have another shaver that Chris sent me, and it's the RazoRock Hawk. This one here is the stainless one. In other words, it's got weight behind it. It's not the aluminum one, version 3. And that's supposed to be a V, by the way. Having fun this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shades to you.